Okay, second example. We're going to go through the process again. We'll do this a little more quickly this time, and I am going to be using the theorem. So part A, classify the prism, and this is exactly what your assignment is going to look like. Classify the prism means to tell us how you would describe this prism based on the bases. Now, if you look at this one's kind of interesting. We have opposite faces every single time. There are two of them, parallel and exactly the same shape, even the top and the bottom. So on this particular figure, it doesn't matter which ones we call the bases. We're going to get the same answer no matter what. So when that happens to you, do yourself a favor and just assume that the top and the bottom are the bases. Okay? That's just easier for you to deal with it that way. All right, so here we go. Classify the prism. Since this base, our bases are, let's look at the dimensions, 24 wide, or 24 long, 20 wide, even though it might look like a square, it's not. It's actually a rectangle. So this is a rectangular prism, and you do have to write the word prism because that tells us that it is a three-dimensional figure and the sides are polygons. So we get a nice mental picture of what this looks like just by knowing the name. All right, lateral surface area. Lateral area can be found either by adding up all the separate faces or finding the perimeter, multiplying it times the height. Perimeter. This thing is 24 wide. 20 goes to the back. Across the back side, since the sides are parallel, it is also 24. And then when we come around the other side, yep, that's 20. So to find the perimeter, it's 24 plus 24 plus 20 plus 20. I'm just going to write it all out because I don't want anybody lost. And then multiply times the height of the entire figure. The height is the length of the edge between the two bases. So our height is the 10. All right, so let's see. That's 48 plus 40, so that's 88 times 10, or 880 centimeters squared. Surface area. That would be part C. Surface area is the total of all of that. So that's the lateral area plus the area of the two bases. You might want to grab a calculator now because you're probably going to need one if you don't already have one sitting out. Lateral area is 880 plus two bases. Our bases are rectangles that are 24 wide and 20 long. And we all know to find the area of a rectangle, it's length times width or base times height. So 24 times 20, that's 880 plus 2 times 480. That's 880 plus 960 and 14, 17, 1840 centimeters squared. You might double check all my math. I did it quickly. I did not use a calculator. Actually, I'm going to do it for you right now. Whoops, put a plus in there. Watch what you write down. 880 is not equal to 960, so don't write that down. Put the plus in there. Yep, 1840 centimeters squared. Now, we haven't done the volume. We haven't even talked about it. I'm going to leave that. We'll come back to it in a minute. I do want us, before we stop this video, to go ahead and work one more. This is actually number 5 on your assignment. So if you have the worksheet printed out, you might want to go ahead and get that out. Work the first 4, see how you do, and then come back to the video. Okay, I'm just going to keep going though for the sake of time in making the video. All right, part A, classify the prism. We're going to look for two sides that are parallel first. So if I look at the left and the right side, well, they're not parallel. They both slant, so those are not my bases. If I look at the top and the bottom, right here and down here, they are parallel, but unfortunately, they're not the same size. They're not congruent. Bases have to be parallel and congruent. Notice the one on top is smaller than the one on the bottom. So let's see, the next thing, the only thing I have left are the front and the back. They are the same size. Let me get some more numbers back here. When I erased them, I took some of them away. If you have your worksheet, you can see what the numbers are. And let's see, this is 6 up here. And this one is 9. There we go. All right, so we do have the front and the back are the same size. They are both trapezoids. So since the bases are trapezoids, this is a trapezoidal prism. If it helps you, you can visualize picking that thing up and sitting it on the trapezoid. So you have a trapezoid on the bottom, you have a trapezoid on the top, okay? We might as well go ahead and figure out which number in all of this then would be the height of the three-dimensional figure, the height of the prism. The height is that length that goes between the two trapezoids. So this 15 is the height of the prism. Because it's the length that's going between the two trapezoids. And it does meet them at right angles, by the way. This is a right prism. Okay, part B. Part B is find the lateral surface area. Lateral area is found by taking the perimeter times the height. That's the perimeter of one of the bases. So let's check that perimeter. All right, it is 10 across the front. On the bottom. I'm missing, oh, no, I'm not. This side's 9. It is an isosceles trapezoid. So each of those two sides going up are 9. And across the top, if one across the back is 6, the one up front is 6. So that's how we're going to find our perimeter. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, that's 19 and 15. So this is 34. And we're going to multiply that times the height of the entire figure. So times 15. So the lateral area of our trapezoidal prism is 510 centimeters squared. Surface area, that's the lateral area plus the area of the two bases added in. Lateral area is 510, and we have two bases. Again, our base is a trapezoid. If it's easier for you to see, pull that thing out, draw the picture. There's our trapezoid. That way we're not looking at anything but the trapezoid. Area of a trapezoid, you remember, is 1/2 the height times the sum of the two bases of the trapezoid. So to find the area of our trapezoid, the height is the 8, and the bases of the trapezoid are the 6 and the 10. They're the sides that are parallel. So let me put that in our formula. 1/2 times 8 times 6 plus 10. Area of the trapezoid, just to remind you what that is, okay? All right, a little simplification here. Keep that 510 going. Let me simplify what's on the inside. That's 2 times 1/2 times 8 is 4. And actually, let me show you a little trick here. Let me back up. I think we'll do it this way. Let me go ahead and add the 6 and the 10. They're in parentheses, so we need to add those together. Now, if you notice, I have 2 times 1/2 times 8 times 16. 2 times 1/2, since it's all multiplication, it's like these little braces aren't here. 2 times 1/2, that's 1. So they'll cancel each other out. So what I really have is 510 plus 8 times 16. 8 times 16 is 128. And if you add the 510 to that, we get 638 centimeters squared. And that is our surface area. Again, we haven't talked about volume. We'll come back to that in just a couple minutes and we'll do volume. All right, what I would do if I were you is I would stop the video or go back and have it out in front as you work through your exercises. Go ahead and do parts A through C. And once you have all those lateral areas and surface areas done, then come back and watch the next video where I'll explain how to do volume.